you know. But be specific. It's not all black men.
This being written by a slave-minded man. It says, I don't want to read too much into the motivations of those men. Maybe they simply felt they had to do their jobs. Yeah, because it's black men's jobs to come in and clean up the messes of men of no color.
Now you hear that, right? You hear that? Yes, it's those black men's jobs to clean up the messes of those white men of no color, right? Who trashed the U.S. Capitol. Yes, it's their job. They're getting paid for that, Cynthia G.
Still, their presence in that place at that moment signifies something deeper than just work duty. Whatever the reasons they were there, black people cleaning up after a white mob trying to undermine democracy is a powerful image, especially considering that nooses were among the things that rioters were carrying, as well as Confederate flags. This man said this is a powerful image. Does this not tell you the mindset of black men? The fact that you think it's a powerful image, not for you to engage in ownership, not for you to praise and uplift the women and children of your community, not for you to...
Let me stop right here. To me, this image is not powerful. And what the man Isaac Bailey is saying right here is some bullshit. And I'm going to point this out. Now, let me go straight to his article, right? Now, the part that Cynthia G just read, right, is right here. And I'm going to highlight it for you. It's right here. And this is what Isaac Bailey wrote. He said, I don't want to read too much into the motivations of those men. Now, I want to read into the motivations of those men, and I'm explaining to you why in a second. Then he goes on and he says, maybe they simply felt they had to do their jobs. Still, their presence in that place at the moment signifies something deeper than just work duty. So right there, he's making it clear that these guys are on work duty, right? They simply felt they had to do their jobs. Now, he goes on and he says, whatever the reason they were there, sorry about that, whatever the reason, yeah, they were there. Of course, we know why they were there. They were there working, Isaac Bailey. Black people cleaning up after a white mob trying to undermine democracy is a powerful image, especially considering the nooses were among the things the rioters were carrying and the Confederate flag paraded through the chamber. Now, again, that noose, right? Those nooses they referring to, those were for the politicians. That had nothing to do with black people. All right. Those nooses and that Confederate flag, right, was for those politicians. This is a political issue. This isn't a race issue. This is one thing that irritates me about you black liberals, man. You know, and even the white ones. You always try to turn political issues into something racial. This is a political issue. This is not racial. All right. They were there protesting, right? It was a riot at the Capitol. They rushed the Capitol. They had nooses and Confederate flags. That was for the politicians inside of the Capitol. Now, Isaac Bailey made it very clear, right? When he said that maybe, right? Maybe they simply felt they had to do their jobs. Yes, of course they felt they had to do their jobs because they're getting paid to do their jobs, right? Then he goes on and he says, still their presence in that place at the moment signifies something deeper than just work duty. No, it really didn't. It was just work duty, Isaac Bailey. Those guys were motivated. Since you say you don't want to read too much into their motivations, well, I do. They were motivated to do their work because they receive a check. The motivation for them to do their job is their check. They don't want to be fired. That's simply all it was. These black men were working. All right. Now I'm going to prove to you all what I'm saying by going to another source. All right. Now, the source that we're going to take a look at right here is Newsweek. And we're going to read this article by Newsweek about the same thing that we just discussed in Cynthia G's video. It says video of black Capitol workers cleaning up after mob mayhem goes viral. All right. Now let's scroll down. And it says footage of black maintenance workers cleaning up the Capitol after yesterday's attack by pro-Donald Trump supporters trying to overturn the election result have sparked anger, sadness, and frustration online. Now, again, these are black maintenance workers. A clip of staff at work cleaning up the building following the riots, which saw a number of people enter the House chamber, has been viewed more than 6 million times on Twitter at the time of publishing. It says Daniela Diaz of CNN posted the clip with the caption, in quotes, "The same House chamber doors where the armed standoff took place hours ago is being cleaned for members to return for the joint session." All right. And this right here is the tweet that Daniela Diaz tweeted. And it shows the black maintenance worker. You see him? All right. Now that's the same. That right there is the same two guys that's in the photo that's in the CNN article, right? The same CNN article that Cynthia G is reading from. Now, it goes on and it says, the footage has since been circulating as Twitter users share their disgust at the image of African American staff cleaning up after a group of rioters were with noted ties to white supremacy. Keenan Austin Reed, a founder of the Black Women's Congressional Alliance, said the footage, in quotes, almost more than a heart can take. The image of the black Capitol workers cleaning up behind white supremacist thugs who attempted a coup just a couple of hours ago is almost more than a heart can take, Austin Reed tweeted. All right. You can see her tweet. Now let's keep going. Black maintenance staff. Now this is in quote. Black maintenance staff who were likely forced to hide during insurrection are cleaning up the mess of a white mob that hung a noose outside the Capitol, said Sawyer Hatchett. Now that's the senior advisor and communications director to Julian Castro. All right. And right here, Christine Pelosi, which is the daughter of House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, added, in quotes, that black workers cleaning up after white seditionists who were escorted out of the Capitol encapsulates Trumpism in a nutshell. Great thanks to all of the Capitol building staff whose lives were at risk for COVID and conflict today. Again, these guys are part of the staff. They are maintenance workers. These guys get paid. And obviously, Cynthia G do not know anything about the U.S. Capitol, because if she did, she would know that can't nobody just walk in there and decide to assist in cleaning up. No, they have people that do things like that. All right. They have hired maintenance workers. All right. Now, again, this is why I'm saying Cynthia G can't read. She can recite these words beautifully, and she did. She recited the words beautifully. But again, right here in the article that she read, right? And I'm going to highlight it again, but I'm going to highlight it from here, right? Isaac Bailey stated, maybe they simply felt they had to do their jobs. Yes, they had to do their jobs. Why? Because they're being paid to clean up. They're maintenance workers. They just so happen to be black. Then he goes on and says, still, their presence in that place at the moment signifies something deeper than just work duty. So again, he is saying that they are on work duty, Cynthia G. Yes, he is. Now, whatever the reason they were there, right? Now, right here, you know, that's all propaganda why he's saying that. You know, black people cleaning up after a white mob trying to undermine democracy is a powerful image, especially considering that nooses were among the things the rioters were carrying, and the Confederate flag paraded through the chambers. Okay. You know, again, the noose and the Confederate flag and all of that was for the politicians. It had nothing to do with the black maintenance workers. I tell you, man, these liberals, man, they are idiots in my book. They are, man. They try to turn everything into a racial issue, and everything is not racial. This is a political issue. You know, just like Isaac Bailey stated that he did not want to read too much into the motivations of these men. Why? Why? Because if you read into the motivations of these men, then that photo that was taken, right? That photo, where's the photo at? Where's that photo? Let me just go back to Cynthia's video. That photo that was taken right there, right, of these men, right? Wouldn't mean much if you look into, or if you read into the motivations of the black maintenance worker that's cleaning up. It wouldn't mean much because you have to acknowledge that he has to clean up for him to receive a paycheck. So his motivation to be there to clean that mess up is for him to keep his job and get paid. All right. Now let's keep going.
Build up your own communities, own your athleticism, funnel wealth into your own communities, show with pride that you are dedicated to the women and children in your community. It's a powerful image for you to be cleaning up the mess of men of no color who don't like you. This is their psychology, and this is why I talk about their psychology. And listen, if they want to go in and do charitable work,
boom. Let's hear that again. Let's hear that again. Shall we? Yeah, let's go back a little bit. Let's hear that again.
The mess of men of no color who don't like you. This is their psychology, and this is why I talk about their psychology. And listen, if they want to go in and do charitable work, they can.
Boom. Cynthia G just proved everything that I'm saying. She believed that these men were doing charitable work. She believed that they were there for charity. That's not why these black maintenance men were there. No, they were there cleaning up the Capitol because that is their job. This is what they do day in and day out. They clean the building. It just so happened these maintenance workers are black. That's all. This is why Isaac Bailey didn't want to read too deep into their motivations. This is why he's trying to say the image is so important. But see, he don't want to talk about their motivations, because what happens if you talk about the motivations behind these men cleaning up, right? The true motivations behind them cleaning up, which is that it's their job to clean up and they receive a paycheck, remuneration for cleaning up. Then it removes all of this pity and sorrow that he's seeking from white America, specifically from white liberals, about these men having to do their job. That's all it is. This entire article is propaganda. That's all it is. It's bullshit. It's nothing significant here. These men are just simply doing their job. And you got Isaac Bailey that's seeking pity and sorrow. And you have Cynthia G, who's reading this article and could not comprehend that Isaac Bailey was stating that these men were on work duty, that these men were doing their jobs, right? But they shouldn't have to, because they're black and they're cleaning up a mess from a white mob of racists who were supporting Trump, right? They make it seem like all white people that support Trump are racist, It's just all propaganda, y'all. That's all it is. Now, again, I want to hear that again. I'm going to go back a little bit more. I want to hear that again.
It's a powerful image for you to be cleaning up the mess of men of no color who don't like you. This is their psychology, and this is why I talk about their psychology. And listen, if they want to go in and do charitable work, they can do that.
Boom. Need I say more? Cynthia G cannot read. What do I mean when I say she cannot read? She can recite the words beautifully. Yes, she can. But obviously she do not comprehend the words that she recite, because if she did, she would have interpreted from what Isaac Bailey wrote that these men were black maintenance workers who were on work duty doing their jobs. But of course, like most black people, right? Because most black people can't read, they always fall for the propaganda, right? Yeah. Now let me give you this definition of read, because I don't want people to misinterpret what I'm saying. Now I pulled this definition from Google. I just typed in define read. To read is to look at and comprehend the meaning of written or printed matter by mentally interpreting the characters or symbols of which it is composed. Again, I'm saying that she can't read because she doesn't comprehend what she's reading. That she can recite it, she could say it to you, but obviously she do not comprehend everything that she has read or everything that she has recited. Okay, now let's go back.